Welcome to the Pulse of Healthcare. This is Dr. Joanne McCormick, and we're trying something different. We got the little video today. So here's Peter. So what you got is two old guys talking about healthcare for our podcast. What you don't see off screen there is Marie. She's our tech and marketing expert. So she might chime in here a little bit. But today's topic, we're going to talk about a recent little article that we just put out on our social media sites, and I call it Stockholm Syndrome in Healthcare. And what does that actually mean? I mean, so when we talk about Stockholm Syndrome, what is that, Peter?
Well, in conversations that we've had, one of the things that we've noticed is that a lot of the people that we're talking to are reluctant to pull a trigger and make a change now because of all what's going on. And it really seemed in that discussion that there was a psychological part of the market that was just saying, I don't know what's going on. I'm not going to do anything, and I'll stay with what I have because I don't know where it's going to go.
Completely fear-based, all right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, Stockholm Syndrome in that traditional sense is that, that bonding with your captor to the point where you're actually, evading rescue.
Yep.
And so what we see is people with these big box plans, and every year they go, oh, the price went up. It went up 10%, it went up 20%. This year it's going up 30% in some cases. And yet when you go, I'm here, I can save you, they're like, I can't do it. I can't move. So it really is almost pathological in some ways that they can't seem to break away from somebody that's effectively abusing them, and if you're a small business, could really drive you out of business or impact your bottom line so significantly that it makes a real difference.
Well, that's what we're really finding out within the small to mid-size plan market, that they're just paralyzed with fear to make a change. And we've been having much more luck asking if they would be interested in seeing a proposal in light of what is going on with the fear of the marketplace. So it creates an opportunity, but the imbalance that's so strong right now of people not wanting to make a decision is, with all the regulation changes that have been going on, with the different costs that are coming out, people need a guide through this process, and we offer that guide and that solution.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, in my article, I say I'm a FBI hostage negotiator, and I actually was trained to do that. That wasn't made up, and was trained. I am a trained certified FBI hostage negotiator. But the point wasn't that. The point was, you really, like you just said, you really do need somebody to help almost deprogram you from the cult that you've joined, and to be able to say it's okay to move. I mean, Marie and I were having a conversation yesterday, and her husband works for a large company that's national, and we had the same conversation. Health prices are going up, and she said, well, I work for a healthcare company, and we could probably help you out. And she got the immediate reaction that we were just talking about, like, oh my God, we can't do it. We need a name brand. But when you push on that and go, well, why? There is no answer. It literally is a defense of something with no rational basis for that defense, other than this is what we've been programmed to say, and this is what we've been programmed to do by the big box companies, and they say it, the large brokerage houses as well, drive you into this cycle, which I'm going to do a follow-up op-ed on, so I'm not going to reveal that right now, but I want to talk about that because there is a cabal, if you will, of, large companies and large brokerage houses and things like that are driving these people back into these really abusive relationships, monetarily abusive.
Well, it's one of those in conversations that we've had with some of the businesses. it's as if they have a known pain and they're afraid of the unknown pain instead of finding a solution to their issue.
Right.
It's just easier to be able to blame the big box. Look, they raised the prices. They did that. They're used to explaining that.
Right, and what's the knock-on effect of that? You know, so if you drive that down to the employee level or even the resource level of a company, when your healthcare is going up 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, percent a year, what's not going up? Wages.
Right.
What's not happening? Technological improvements. What's not happening? Equipment is being degraded because there's only so much money and liquidity in any company. And if you've got an expense that's going up faster than the economy, significantly faster than the economy, there's just no way to offset that.
Well, healthcare is the biggest household expense, bigger than housing, bigger than food. And part of that is companies that are trying to offset the increases that they get with bigger deductibles, bigger copays, and who pays? The
You do.
employee.
Yeah, the member pays.
Yep.
The member pays. So they go, well, we renewed with, our big box plan this year, but, your deductible that 10 years ago was $1,500. Now that this year it's $6,000, $7,000. We've seen deductibles this year of $7,500 for plans, and then your max out of pocket almost $10,000. It's like so they're paying $600-$700 a month for health care, and then you have to pay an additional $7,000 if you actually use it. It's insane. Anyway, so
We have a solution.
we do have a solution. We would love for people to reach out to us. At least let us talk to you about where you're at now, what we think we can do for you.
It's no harm to get a proposal to work with a company and find out what the alternatives are. And you may be extremely pleasantly surprised. In fact, I know if you come with us, you will be surprised at the quality and the care that you get. But it's time to start looking. It's time to pull the head out of being buried in the sand and look at healthcare of how you can get that benefit for your employees to keep your employees long term.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And ironically, Health Rosetta, the big conference, is going on right now in Colorado, and this is that group of people that's whole mission in life is to help educate employers on better ways to do that. We actually have a couple of our representatives at the conference. We're ready to help you out. Please give us a call, 866-549-4199, or email. You can, go to our website, check us out. We'd love to help you do better. And that's it for this episode of The Pulse of Healthcare.